All right, then, since we successfully created the client folder, now we need to move on to the server. So let me remove the README file which we added inside the server folder. So let me delete it, delete this. Okay, so now the server folder is completely empty. Now what we need to do is we need to create a Firebase project. To create a Firebase project, all you have to do, go to firebase.google.com. So that will take you to the Firebase dashboard, and at the top right corner, you can see the option called Go to Console. So click the Go to Console option. That will takes you to the project console. So I created a lot of project already. In case if this is your first project, you can see create project option. Otherwise, click the add project over here and give a name for your project. So I'm just going to keep the same name, full stack underscore food app underscore. Okay, so can only contain letters. Okay, so don't use the underscore, use the hyphen. Food app underscore February 23 React.js, which is exactly the same name as our GitHub name. Let's click continue. And if you want to enable the Google Analytics, enable all this option. I'm going to disable it and create the project. This will take like around 15 to 20 seconds to create the project. So let's wait until it's successfully created. So once this is successfully created, what we're going to do is we're going to configure certain things like enable the Firestore collections and enable the Firebase storage, because we're going to use the Firebase storage to store all our images inside the Firebase storage. And we're gonna create the Firestore collections to store all our data inside the collections. So now our project is ready. So click the continue. All right. So as I said, in the left side menu, you can see the build option. Click the build menu, and there you can see the Firestore database. So click, and you can see the storage option. So click the Firestore database. And now we need to create the database first. So once you enable, click the create database, it will shows you two different options, production mode and test mode. In this case, we're going to have it as a production mode only, and we're going to write the security rules and everything later. So click this next option, enable. So this will take some time, like don't change this, the location, unless if you want to choose your nearmost location, choose it manually. So I'm just going to leave it automatically so that it will select the nearmost location by itself. So now it's setting up the security rules. So by default, it will revoke all the permissions. All we have to do is to make sure enable everything. Later, we'll update the security rules. So if you want to go through about the security rules, click the view docs over here. That will gives you the clear information about the security rules and everything, how to set up authentication, define rules, access your rules, write basic rules. You can find all the information about your setting security rules. If you go to the right security rules, go to the basic security rules, and there you can see the information how to write the security rules for your specific document, so that you can access the rules and you can write the security rules by yourself. In this case, by default, the read and write permission is false. I'm just going to enable it to true for our testing purpose. Later, once we are going to upload it and move it to the production server, we need to change this security rules for our security concern. All right, so now it's up and ready. Let's go back to the Firestore storage. Let's do the same thing for our Firestore storage. Click the get start option and choose the production mode. Click next, leave it as same, done. It's taking time creating default bucket. Let's wait until it gets done successfully. Setting up the security rules. It's almost done. And now here we are. So let's go back to these rules folder, and here go to your, here change this to true, and then click this publish option. Now it's published successfully. Then we added the Firestore database and Firestore storage. Now all we need to do is to create an app. So let's go to this click this cog icon at the top right and go to your project settings option, and there you can see there is no app which is created. We need to create an app to configure with your any application which we are working. In this case, we're going to work with this web app. We are creating a web app, not iOS or Android. Click the web app and give a name for your web app. I'm just going to keep restaurant. Otherwise, give a full exact same name which you created: full stack app React.js Feb 23, 23. And then click register. Also set up web hosting. Don't worry about the web hosting. We'll worry about the web hosting later. So click register app. So now the app is being registered. And then you need to install this package in your front end Firebase. We'll do it later. And this is your Firebase configuration, which we need to keep it safe, and we need to create the environment files and everything, and we need to put it inside the environment file. So let's go to the console, continue to the console, and once you come back, you can see all the necessary setups and everything. Now what we need to do next is to create a Firebase, install this Firebase in the front end, and we need to configure all these setups. Then we need to create the cloud functions to configure with the server. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next.